Great evening, and thank you so much for the very, very warm welcome. Again, my name is Dr. Shannon Harrington, and I'm super excited to share with you guys this evening. The title of my presentation is Health is Wealth: Strategies for Good Mental and Physical Health. Okay, so I'm trying to make sure I can see everything, and I can't see all the things. So y'all gonna have to monitor the chat for me. So little icebreaker. So how many people, drop it in the chat that I can't see, have ever felt like this minion? You're so tired that your tired is tired. And I'm trying to see you guys. Hold on, I gotta get this together. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Now I can see it. Woo! Technology is great. Absolutely. So I got some witnesses in the chat. Okay. Great, 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 great. Now I can see y'all. Now I feel better. I feel better. We're gonna get the technology together. Yeah, so I felt like this maybe every day for the last 90 days. I've been so tired that my tide has been tired. And I got some amens. I got some yeses and some absolutes and some me's. So I'm talking to the right people. I'm talking to the right people. So let's take this journey together. This presentation is for the right people. I just wanted to make sure I was talking to the right people. So welcome to Very Stormy Self-Care Airlines. My name is Dr. Shannon Harrington. You're very highly educated flight attendant that will take you on this journey this evening. I will go over some brief instructions with you guys. In the event of an emergency and the cabin loses pressure, I want you to take the oxygen mask and put it on Pastor Houston, who I saw pop up in the chat. So I know he here. Hey, Daddy. Put it on Pastor Houston. Put it on TC. Put it on Allie and her baby. Are these the right instructions, y'all? Say yes or no. Yes or no. Am I giving the right instructions? Do I need to be fired as the very highly educated and comedic flight attendant? Am I giving y'all the right instructions? Yes or no? Definitely yes. Yes. No, I'm not hired. Y'all fired. I love y'all, but no, I should be fired. No, I'm supposed to tell y'all that you're supposed to put the oxygen mask on yourself first. And that is what self-care is. That is what all the strategies that we're going to talk about tonight. That is why we do that. We put the oxygen mask on ourselves first. Self-care is putting the oxygen mask on yourself first. Not Craig, TC, Mookie, Kiki, and them. Putting the oxygen mask on yourself first. So let's start with the definition of self-care. Self-care is any deliberate, meaning intentional, activity that we do in an effort to provide for our physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. And I call out two words and highlight two words: deliberate, meaning intentional. You have to do it with activity. You have to want to be practicing self-care. And for that means you. Self-care, the first word is self. So it's all about you. So why? So drop in the chat, say me. If you have ever felt like any one of these pictures, I felt like this all week. All week. How many people have ever felt like the man to my right, maybe to your left, or the woman on the other side? Yes, yes. We all need self-care, y'all. We all need self-care. So nobody's exempt from feeling that way. We all have a lot of different balls that we juggle and a lot of things going on, all the things. And we need to practice self-care because it helps us. Wusa. Y'all remember that saying? What movie is that from? Wusa. What movie did we learn the Wusa in? Y'all drop it in chat. It helps us to reduce stress. It helps to improve our immune system and yes, bad boys. Richard, you win. He was on. He's like, bad boys, bad boys. So we all need to woosah. We all need to woosah. Woosah because it helps us to reduce our stress. It helps to improve our immune system. We get less sick less often. It helps us to increase our productivity. It helps us to have higher self-esteem, increase focus, and improving our relationships. So reality check ahead. So buckle up, buckle up. So this is my cute dog who may be my co-host in a little bit. So if the storm keeps storming, Diamond don't like thunder and lightning. She don't understand it and she want to bark. So if you hear a little 4-pound Morkie in the back barking, then that's my baby. And she gonna join because she don't want to hear all of the thunder and the lightning. So she may join us in a little bit, but this is a picture of Diamond. The top picture of Diamond is when I used to work from home, as I work from home. Whenever I would leave my desk, Diamond would go to my desk. And if there was any email sent out in my absence when I was not at my desk that looked like a doggy type, that I told my team, Diamond did it. Diamond did it. Diamond sent it. Diamond did it. So Diamond used to jump up in my little chair and cross her hands and sometimes try to get to my laptop and finish mommy's work. During COVID, Diamond was so smart. She saw mommy and everybody else running around with masks, and she wondering why we doing this. So she decided to join the party. Just keep the party going, keep the party going. So she grabbed one of the masks and started running around the house with it. And she decided that y'all not trying to protect me from Rona, but I'm gonna protect myself. So this slide gives me a headache every time I look at it, and it's only a snapshot of my life. I want you to think about what your reality is. Any given time in any given day, I'm a fur mommy to my fur baby that I just talked about. I'm a daughter, and y'all that go to Gethsemane know my fly mama. Y'all know my mama. You know my mama. You know my mama. I'm a sister. I'm a friend. I'm a business owner. I'm getting tired just reading this list, y'all, and this ain't everything I do. I'm a speaker, author. I'm a nurse. I'm a community servant. I'm a leader. I'm an advocate of a mentor. Think about what your reality is. So I know I'm not the only person that has 50, 11 things that we have going on. I definitely am in the season, and we all should be in the season of practicing what I'm preaching today, which is implementing self-care. And one of the most powerful definitions of self-care is this one that I found by Brianna Weiss a couple of years ago. And I want you to close your eyes, and somebody remind me to tell y'all to open your eyes so y'all don't have your eyes closed throughout my whole presentation. But close your eyes, and I want you to feel this definition. Then I'm gonna remind myself to have y'all open your eyes. So close your eyes and listen to me as I read this definition of self-care. Self-care is often a very unbeautiful thing. It is making a spreadsheet of your debt, enforcing a morning routine, cooking yourself healthy meals, and no longer just running from your problems and calling the distraction a solution. It is sweating through a workout or confronting a toxic friend, getting a second job to save money, or figuring out a way to accept yourself so that you're not constantly exhausted from trying to be everything all of the time. True self-care is not salt baths and chocolate cake. It's making the choice to build a life you don't need to escape from. And that sometimes means doing the ugliest thing that you have to do. Open your eyes and drop in the chat eyes open so I know y'all open your eyes. So as we navigate self-care, this is going to be an interactive kind of sort of. So get out your pens. If you didn't bring a pen and paper, your eyes open, eyes open. Okay, thank you, TC. Eyes open, let's go. Now we're gonna take a self-care assessment, and we're gonna walk through these 6 areas. It's gonna be about 2 minutes a slide. I need you to have paper and pen, and I want you to score yourself. I'm not gonna ask you to drop your scores in the chat. I want you to be real with yourself. And we're gonna address 4 different things in 6 different areas that span physical self-care, emotional self-care. I want you to think about your relationships. We're gonna think a little bit about work. We're gonna talk about stress management and psychological self-care and personal development self-care. Everybody got your pen and paper? Put ready in the chat. Ready in the chat. Ready in the chat. Ready in the chat. Ready, ready, ready. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So physical health. This is you evaluating you now. So 1 being never, ever, 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 ever. 3 is giving yourself sometimes. 5 is, oh, I got it. I can teach it. I do it all the time. I do it all the time. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? So 1 is strongly disagree. I don't do that. I don't do that at all. 2 is like 3 is like sometimes. 4 is like between sometimes and all the time, and 5 is all the time. Y'all ready? So physical health. 1, give you 30 seconds. I prioritize regular exercise and engage in enjoyable physical activities. Now, this question, if you got to think about it too long, then you're already a 1. Like, if you got to think about it, you're probably a 1. Go and be honest with yourself. 30 seconds. I prioritize regular exercise and engage in enjoyable physical activities. Number 2, I eat a balanced diet and nourish my body with healthy food choices. Healthy food choices. Pastor used to say, you think wrong, you think wrong. I eat a balanced diet and nourish my body with healthy food choices. Got 15 more seconds on that. All right, 3, I eat enough. I get enough sleep and practice good sleep hygiene. I get enough sleep and practice good sleep hygiene. You take your showers, you have a whole routine, you do your thing before you go to bed. 30 seconds is a long time for this question. We're gonna do 15. 4, I attend regular medical checkups and care for my physical health. So you go to the doctor or no? Yes or no? Or sometimes, so not as much as I should. 1, 3, and 5, I feel like should be the main ones. All right. So that's physical health. So the highest score you can have is a 20. The lowest score you can have is a 4. All right. Moving on to emotional well-being. 1, I acknowledge and express my emotions healthily. So you got emotional intelligence. You don't be popping off. So I come, little short story while you're thinking about your answer. I say I come from a long line of women who pop off. Firecracker family. I come from a firecracker family, so it don't take much for us to pop off. So if you popping off, you a 1. Number 2, I engage in activities that bring me joy and promote relaxation. So your mind is like my background. You got peace, you're emotionally regulated, you enjoy activity, you go to the beach, whatever makes you happy, you walk in nature, whatever you do that brings you joy, you work out, you got something that you do on a regular basis to promote relaxation. 3, I have a support system of friends or loved ones I can confide in. So you got a healthy group of friends, not a pop-off group of friends, not ones that want to cut people and cut and cuss people. No. You got healthy friends that want to pray, that want to think about it, that want to woosah. The first response is not violence. Good support system. Number 4, I practice self-compassion and show kindness to myself. Self-compassion. A lot of y'all, I know y'all, it's not just compassion. I know y'all, everybody ain't like Pastor Houston, we show compassion to everybody, but do you show it to yourself? Are you kind to yourself? Y'all sharing y'all scores. I love y'all. Such a caliber. Okay, moving on. Relationships. 1, I maintain healthy boundaries and I prioritize my relationship needs. Healthy, maintain. So not just every now and again, maintain meaning consistently. Have healthy boundaries. One of my friends says, no, saying no to somebody else is saying yes to you. So you have healthy boundaries and you prioritize your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your children, your relationship with your peers, whatever. 2, I communicate openly and effectively with the people in my life. So you don't hold thing in. You're not a volcano ready to erupt, just one button away from popping off. You communicate open and freely with the people in your life. Everybody know how you feel. You're respectful in your communication, but you say it respectfully. Respectfully, of course. 3, I spend quality time with loved ones and nurture meaningful connections. I spend quality time with loved ones. So you got time for your wife, you got time for your kids, you have time for your best friends. You're never too busy for the people that you love and who are in your circle. And you nurture meaningful connections, not commissionships, but nurturing meaningful connections and relationships with people in a healthy way. Last one, I address and resolve conflicts constructively. So you're not popping off. You have one of the books I read by Lisa Nichols, Abundance Now. She talks about having carefrontations, not confrontations. Carefrontations is you have to be emotionally regulated and ready yourself to have the conversation. So regardless of what the other person does, regardless of how they respond, act, or show out, you are at peace with having the conversation and you're going to respect the person. So sometimes we have an issue with addressing the person and not the issue, but you're to the point where you can address the issue and not take it personally out on the individual. And regardless of the outcome, you're going to be okay walking away knowing that you did the right thing and you set your boundaries, you let them know how you felt, and you try to resolve it in a constructive manner without being overly emotional. You allowed your emotions to subside and then you decided to have a conversation. Okay, wrapping it up. Next section. Work-life balance. Work-life balance. So one, I set boundaries between work and personal life, ensuring time for rest. Pastor Houston, I'm calling you out. So you know I'm looking at you through the lens. Anyway, just picking at my pastor. I set boundaries between work and personal life, ensuring time for rest. Rest, like sitting down. My auntie always says to me, baby, even Jesus rested. Even Jesus sat down one day, baby. You can sit down too. Number two, I prioritize activities and hobbies outside of work that fulfill me. So your life isn't just work. I know that I'm talking to a congregation. So our work is our worship and everything that we do is unto God. But everything that we do does not have to be within the confines of work. We can do other things that fulfill us. 3, I manage my workload effectively and avoid excessive stress. I manage my workload effectively and avoid excessive stress. Emphasis on excessive stress. Excessive stress. Work-life balance. One of my mentors used to say there is no such thing as work-life balance when you work for me. It's work-life integration. This was a very toxic statement, but nonetheless, it was my reality for 3 years. Work-life integration. Sometimes you're going to be at work and you got to handle something. You got to step away for something in your personal life. Sometimes you're going to be in your personal life and you got to step away from work. You just got to learn how to create integration and harmony. 4, I take regular breaks and vacations to recharge and rejuvenate. TC, oh my God, which one? Work-life balance is this slide, TC? Oh Lord, what's it? The last slide. I'm just saying that. Simone, okay, so this part don't work. This don't apply to you. I take regular breaks and vacations to recharge and rejuvenate. Pastor Houston, I'm very proud of you. You have been doing that this year. We've noticed. Next section, stress management. Number 1, I practice stress reduction techniques such as meditation, deep breathing, or mindfulness. Congratulations, Miss Brenda. I practice stress reduction techniques such as meditation, deep breathing, or mindfulness. Number 2, I engage in activities that help me to relax and unwind from daily stressors. Number 3, I identify and manage sources of stress in my life proactively. So you're thinking about things from a proactive stance. You're not being reactive. Our life don't have a fall apart, and then you have to realize, oh my God, what happened? Everything that you've been neglecting is what's been happening, right? So you're being proactive about identifying and managing stress. And 4, I have healthy coping mechanisms for stress, such as seeking support or practicing self-care activities. Okay, last but not least section before we dive into a little bit of content and then we're wrapping up. Personal development. I invest time and effort into personal growth and learning. This is not professional growth. Don't tell me about no conferences that you've been to help you get your job or your promotion or to have better skills in work, but your personal growth and learning. Great job, Ms. Brenda. Awesome, Kimberly. Number 2, I set goals and take steps towards achieving them. SMART goals, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-bound. 3, I engage in activities that enhance my creativity and self-expression. And the last one is I regularly reflect on my values, beliefs, and life purpose. So I want you to, each section, see how you measured up. Look at the sections that you scored the lowest, the 2 sections that you scored the lowest, and hold on to those. You don't have to share. Go, Kim, go, Kim, go, Kim. You win, girl, you win. So we're going to woosah. Next time I'm going to put woosah on this slide since y'all know woosah. We're going to breathe and we're going to transition. And I'm going to share with you. Whenever I talk about self-care, I like to take it from the lens of why I do it and what changed in my life related to those areas. Because what to do, I don't think that there's anything new under the sun that I could teach you as far as what to do. You can look at and learn some tips about different things to do. And when I coach people individually, we talk through me meeting them where they are and them starting where they are, because where you are is the only place that you can start. But I like us to really sit down and think about, once you look at those numbers, I did a presentation last Monday and 75 leaders, and about 45 of them was like, oh, the self-awareness hit them like a ton of bricks because they're so busy serving. And Pastor Houston tells us we're saved to serve, we're not saved to sit. But sometimes we need to sit down for a little bit and rest a little bit. We still need to move, but we also need to sit down. If you've ever heard me speak, I will not go into deep detail about why physical self-care is one of my priorities and why it's like breathing for me. But if any of you know, the reality check for me was when I was standing at the side of an ICU bed, holding my father's hand, watching him take his last breath. And I always say that when my dad took his last breath, I took my first, because I realized that I was a hustler, I was a runner, I was all the things, legal hustler, not illegal activities, okay? But I was someone who could always get the bag, get the job done, get the go, serve, do. But I didn't do what I told y'all to do when y'all boarded Self-Care Airlines. Put the oxygen mask on myself first. And if I continued down that same path, I would end up in a premature death like my father, who passed away at 58. So physical self-care is a part of my lifestyle. Everybody who follows me knows I have an obnoxious amount of accountability pictures that shows you that I went to the gym. Right? But it's not always just going to the gym. It's what you put in your mouth. It is moving your body. It's not always doing weights. It's just being active. It's not something that you have to do. It's something that you get to do. Emotional self-care. This picture kind of gets me teary-eyed because it was last Monday. After that presentation, I spent an hour and a half with almost 2 hours. No, yeah, over 2 hours with some amazing leaders unpacking a lot. And there was a line of people waiting to talk to me. And this lady walked up to me, and I saw like her eyes were so red and so heavy. And she said, "Can I hug you?" And as we started to hug, it was just this transference of energy. And she stood back, and she was holding me the whole time that she was talking to me. She said, "I needed that." And she was telling me about, it was Monday. On that previous Thursday, her best friend had died. And she's an introvert of introverts that don't talk to people, don't do people, don't people. She don't people, right? And she's like, "I don't know what I'm going to do without her." And we were talking about how they used to sing in the choir together and all of the things. And we had our moment of connection. But emotional self-care in that moment for her was her just hugging this stranger that she had a connection with because of something that I said in my presentation that just made that made her feel comfortable enough to talk to me and to want to touch me and to share with me her experiences and her encounters. So that was a beautiful moment for me. And sometimes it's in the simple things. I've heard Sister Sandra Little share stories about with the different things that she does with our women's ministry and with different women's organizations that she's a part of and that she leads, that a lot of times the women that come, they just need that touch. They just need that embrace. And also in men's ministry, I've heard men say that men don't get all touchy-feely. You come to our church, you're going to get a hug. You're going to get a good Gethsemane hug, right? But a lot of times we don't really pay attention to what we need emotionally, but sometimes it's in the simple things. It could be a hug. It could be a smile. It could be a warm communication. It could be an affirmation. It could be something you do, something you don't do. But taking care of ourselves from an emotional standpoint is so important. And sometimes we just be running. We just be doing stuff, doing the most, and not really paying attention until we ready to pop off and we need to do something. So take thermostat, take the temperature, not thermostat, but take the temperature of your emotions. And if emotional self-care is an area you need to work on, think about what it is that you need to do and start doing tonight that can help you in that area. Relationship self-care. I shared this story when I was talking to the leaders. Relationships was a hot topic. And I showed this slide. It says save your marriage. So these pictures are the day that I defended my dissertation. And the day that I defended my dissertation was a couple of weeks before I started going through a divorce. And what was funny, not funny about the experience was what I was told. So that was at the end of my PhD. So I'm Dr. Harrington in these pictures, right? So as first day as PhD student, I was listening to one of my teachers who should never pursue a career in motivational speaking. She said to the whole entire class, look around. Hey, my name is such and such, doctor, whatever. Look around. Half of y'all ain't gonna be here. Never pursue a career in motivational speaking. Half of y'all ain't gonna be here, and the other half of y'all that is here, you ain't gonna be with who you with today. Yeah, that's how I felt. I feel y'all energy. Like, say what? Say what in the chat, because I feel like I feel y'all energy through this mat, right? So I'm like, one, she should never go into motivational speaking. Two, why is she saying this? But you know what? I was the youngest person in the class. So our age were backwards. I was 24. The oldest person was 42. Half of the people that was in the class didn't walk across stage with me. Half of the people was going through a divorce. And I was like, she shouldn't have said that, but I understood it more on this day than I ever wanted to understand it on the first day. But what she was saying that she could have put it in a nice Tiffany box and not on the trash can lid was y'all need to communicate. Anything that's important in your life, when you're making a decision to commit to something such as school, elevating yourself to the next level, you need to make sure that the people attached to you understand that there's going to be some things that are going to shift, things are going to sacrifice. Every level of education that I have pursued has reintroduced me into myself. The person that walked in the program was not the same woman that walked out. Oh, so maintaining your relationships, whether you're in school, whether you're in a new job or whatever, you have to have the same nurturing. You have to water your own grass and make sure your grass is green. But communicate, have quality time, have intimacy, not just physical, but physical is a thing, but emotional, spiritual intimacy, all of the different types of intimacy. Have retreats, but you also have to maintain your own identity, give yourself grace and space to grow. You ask for permission from your spouse for grace and space to grow. Communicate that grace and space that you need to grow and all of the things. So relationship self-care, if you scored low on that, think about where you at. Be honest with yourself. You lie to yourself, you lying to yourself. But be honest with yourself about where you are and realistic about what are some things that you can improve on to improve your current relationships. Work-life balance. So I had an employee about three leadership positions ago who it was her goal in life to win as far as having the most PTO hours or hours roll over from year to year. So I think you can max out at 200 or 400 or some kind of hours. And she and she was always maxed out. So she couldn't accrue any more off time. And she just prided herself in that. And I'm like, girl, I was about to fire her. I had to have a conversation with her. I said, look, I love you and I appreciate this, but you are dying, like dying inside. Things are dying around you. And this medal, this thing you want to win is not what you need to win at. You need a break and it's okay. But she looked at that as a failure. I had to work with her for weeks to get her to see that taking time off did not mean that you were not an exceptional employee, that you were not a rock star at your metrics. I don't know who told her that she didn't need to take off, but she needed to sit down because she was dying and it was starting to show in her performance. So work-life balance is a thing, y'all. Don't burn yourself out. Take your breaks during the day, take your vacations, communicate with your employers when you're having challenging times and you need support. Open your mouth. People cannot read your mind. Implement that work-life balance. Whatever that means for you, work-life integration, work-life harmony, whatever it is, you need to have an off switch for work. Ergonomics, making sure that you have great posture when you're sitting down, all of the things. using your wellness benefits. One of the things that people used to leave money on the table, because I work out so much, I'm always in all of the employee programs, and I always win all the challenges because don't nobody do them. But it's like I would get gift cards for Nike or Under Armour or Starbucks or whatever, $50, $100 or whatever, just for giving myself credit, logging into the back portal of whatever benefit program we got, signing up, doing the work, having a good time working out and getting paid a little bit of extra. Well, it's $5 or $10, my free $10 coffee from Starbucks. I was gonna work out anyway, but it was an extra incentive or something that I look forward to doing, because I knew that it was twofold. I was getting myself healthier, but I was also getting rewarded for that. Work-life balance. I know we could all work in that area. When I spoke at Bible study a couple months ago, I shared how I thought hi, my name is Dr. Shannon, and I thought I was Superwoman, but I'm not. And I had to have several seats. I shared that my father had a stroke at 58, and he ended up passing away. And I had stroke-like symptoms around Thanksgiving of last year. During that time where I was hospitalized, I had an intervention from the doctor that was discharging me. And she looked at me and she said, your paperwork say you 44. Your body looks like you 34, but your mind look like you 64. Your mind look like you 64 because you got a level of stress that probably nobody can really understand. And what I need you to do is take the S off your chest and the cape off your back now, because your life depends on it. Not as if, but because your life depends on it. You need to sit down and to rest, because the stress is going to kill you if you don't. And she didn't know who she was talking to. I knew who she was talking to. God knew who she was talking to. So I was like, okay, God, she's telling me to do what I tell everybody else that they need to do. But obviously, I've not been doing it enough. So even the self-care doctor herself needs to be checked sometimes for trying to be all the things and being Superwoman. Sitting down and managing your stress and psychological self-care does not mean you're any less of a Superwoman. You can put the cape on and the S on, but I put my S that don't stand for Superwoman anymore. It stands for Surrendered Woman. That's what we're doing. That's what my S stands for now. So surrender means I don't have to perform or show up in a way to where I'm always strong, because God says that my weaknesses are made perfect in his strength. So I can be weak sometimes. I cannot have all the answers. I can rest in my surrender and still show up and get things done, because I'm never doing it alone. But that was a journey of me hitting rock bottom, brick wall, to realize that I don't have to have it all together all the time. I don't have to do all of the things right, correctly, or perfect all the time. Things might have to get done, but they're going to get done. They're going to get done. But I can maintain my sanity and my peace and my spirit of excellence on purpose. XOP 33. I can maintain that and not kill myself in the process. Last but not least, personal development. And who won personal development? It was Kim? Yeah, Kim Tyree won personal development. Personal development is important, you guys. You have to pour into yourself. Personal development can look like reflection. It can look like you having a mentor that pours into you, or you pouring into a mentee. I learned so much from pouring into my mentees, Lord. Setting SMART goals. What do you want to do with your life? SMART meaning specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. YouTube University. Look, we live in the AI digital age. YouTube, you can learn whatever for free 99. Personal development. One of the things that I love to do is I'm the founder of the Self-Care Academy for Women Leaders, and I train women leaders to practice self-care. Yeah, and I got great new content coming out. Can't you see why? But as I coach my women leaders in different areas of self-care and hold them accountable to that, It is a commitment to them in their journey of personal development and personal growth. Because sometimes we're so focused on our growth in the lane of mother, father, entrepreneur, financial, all of the things, professional career, all of the things, but we don't think about growing as a person. And one of the things that I love about how we have our Foundations of Faith Institute set up is that the first year is all about you. So as a leader, you have to grow inwardly before you can grow outwardly. So it's an internal work that has to be done in the leadership journey before that external work will ever make sense. So in our last few minutes together, I just want you to think about these questions. And we can send this out to you because I have this as a sheet. But I want you to commit to yourself. I want you to create your own self-care strategy tonight. This is the last thing that we're going to do together, then I'll take questions. But self-care is not selfish. It's putting the oxygen mask on yourself first. What area do you need to improve in your self-care? And the number, on the lowest number in one of those 6 categories should tell you, could be a good identifier as for indication of where we should start. Which one area do you want to start working on? So if you had the lowest score in physical, okay, physical, what area do you work on? You want to work on physical exercise? You want to work on physical nutrition? Choose something. Are you ready to commit to implementing a plan today? If your answer is no, you ain't ready. You ain't ready. You ain't ready. You know, like Dr. Shannon, all right, I'm aware. I know I need to do stuff, but I ain't doing nothing today. It's Thursday, and I ain't going to be bullied by you and nobody else to do nothing that I don't want to do right now. Yes, Kim Curtis. I don't know. We'll have to ask TC. What is one of your SMART goals for this one area? So if it's physical activity, and that's what you want to start working on, exercise, okay. Well, I want to start walking twice a week for 30 minutes, okay. You can measure that. Twice a week, don't say I'm gonna start working every day, I'm gonna hit 10,000 steps. Don't do that. You're stressing me out with coming up with this insurmountable goal that not achievable. You can achieve it, but you're going to stress yourself out. So let's start with something that's realistic, specific, measurable. So if you want to start with physical activity, walking 2 or 3 days a week for 30 minutes, and I want to commit to doing that for a month, let's do that. What's your plan for accomplishing that goal? Who's going to help you hold you accountable during that? So my sister will do it. So don't depend on anybody to get your goal done. So somebody can hold you accountable, but don't say, I'm going to go walking with this person. And if that person isn't stronger than you in that area, they can't be your accountability partner. Because if they're like, girl, it's raining outside. Girl, the wind blew too fast today. We ain't walking. If they just need half an excuse not to go, they're not your accountability partner, okay? So what are you going to do for you? You showing up for you, you putting yourself on your calendar, you making yourself a priority, okay? What must you do to first prepare to execute this plan? You're like, oh, I ain't got no walking shoes. I might need to go get me some walking shoes. Or I need to dust off the walking shoes that I got that I ain't put on in 6 months. Whatever. Or I need to set my walking shoes out in front of the door so that I know that I got to go walking in the morning. Or I need to put them right beside the bed so I make sure that when I get up in the morning, I put on those shoes, I brush my teeth, and I'm out the door. What is it that you need to do? So this is your self-care strategy. I want you to think about these things and create. In the creation of thinking about these things, you are creating your own self-care strategy that you can implement immediately. Self-care lifestyle. This is just an idea of what some of the things that I do or did when I first started my journey to kind of make it a lifestyle. If you've heard me speak before, you know I say the 4 W's: war room, workout, worship, work. That's what I've been doing every day since 2017. War room, y'all know what war room is. Workout, some kind of movement. I don't go to the gym every day. Worship, I'm talking to the right crowd. Work, and work is whatever God wants me to do that day. Not killing myself at a job, but just my purpose for that day. Okay, so your accountability starts now. So if you thought about the strategy, you know you're going to start today, tonight, or whenever. I'm calling you on it. Scan this QR code. Office hours are Monday from 5 to 7. So I have Gethsemane only office hours that are attached to this. Fill out the form. I'm gonna hold you accountable. Meet me back on Monday. I got some gifts. I ain't gonna tell you what the gifts are. I ain't gonna tell you what the gifts are. I have some giveaways on Monday for the people who show up, because the people who show up are the people who show up. But if you're ready to start and you want somebody to hold you accountable, let's start. Go put your phone on it. 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 Taking care of yourself is the most powerful way to begin to take care of others. And I hope that you guys choose to practice self-care. Thank you.